Hello, this is Jim Muehlhausen, author of the 51 Fatal Business Errors, and I'm here to talk to you about fatal error number 6, adhering to unwritten rules. In the book, The Fifth Discipline, the author calls adhering to unwritten rules a form of systems thinking. Now, every single one of us goes through this unconscious decision-making process, and many times this process may lead us to very bad decisions. Unwritten rules come in several different flavors. The first and probably most common is industry standards. Industry standards create conventional thinking. Everyone knows that in the plastics business you can do this and you can't do this. Sometimes I like to call that inbred thinking, that everyone thinks the same and they are the same. This usually leads to some bad decisions. Now the second is your upbringing or your background. There's this old wives' tale about the wife is cooking the ham and she cuts both ends off, and the husband says, "Honey, why'd you cut the end off the hams?" She said, "Well, Mom always did it that way." Well, let's call Mom and find out. So you call Mom. Mom, why'd you cut the ham ends off? Well, Grandma always did it that way. Well, let's call Grandma. Grandma, why'd you cut the ends off? Well, my pan was too small, so I had to cut both the ends off the ham in order to get it to fit. So everyone keeps perpetuating the mistake just because of old information. Convenience of unchallenged thinking is another one, and this usually involves the word can't. I can't go that way, there'll be too much traffic, or I can't drive through Chicago at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll get stuck. Well, I may not want to, so then I make this rule. I don't want to fight that traffic, and so I make this little rule saying it's okay to not do that because after all, I mean, it's a rule, not that I just don't want to. And the last one is I want disguised as a rule. And that would be I have an acquaintance whose wife always wants dinner right at 5:30 on the dime, and all these family dominoes tip simply to get that done. Well, there's no magic to 5:30. It's just simply as she wants. It's got nothing to do with the reality of it, and we do it in our business too. I want this, so therefore I make these unwritten rules. Well, how is that spilling out? What we need to do is learn to recognize when you are making something a rule and when you're not. Now, the good news is you're the boss. You get to make the rules and break the rules. When it really gets down to it, there aren't many things that qualify as a rule. Death, taxes, right? The rest is completely up to your subjective definition. So learn to challenge your own thinking. Your business will thank you. I'll look forward to speaking to you next week on next week's 51 Air topic.